and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL. And today we are working on the Blindsided Creation number 18. And this is, I forgot what the pattern number was. I should have wrote that down. I did. Okay, wait, it's over here. It's 87680 over on Bracelet Book. And thank you to Minute Craft for sending this in to me. This is another one of the 16 string bracelets. It is what, 4 shades? Yeah. So I did it in kind of a fade of greens and then used a gray and love it. Absolutely. So this one really got changed around a bunch from the original pattern. So one thing that we did was we added a sort of an arrowhead start to it. I gotta learn. So when I'm trying to find the right string, I lean in and I get in front of this camera. I gotta learn to not do that. Anyways, so we started off with having the cool arrowhead thing going on, right? And then we get into basically just one segment of what the pattern had. And it makes it really, really cool. If you're wondering what I'm looking at, I have the bracelet in my hand, so that's it. It's really cool. It is. It is really, really cool. Yeah, it is perhaps a little bit more advanced than some of the other ones that we've been doing. A lot of zigzags, a lot of stuff in general. Um, if you've been making bracelets a while though, I think you'll do okay. There is like there with the lightest yellow ish green one. It had to bounce back. So like there was some having to change directions in order to get the gray colors to where they needed to be. And that was I kind of knew that one kind of going into it that was sort of a thing. Um, but again, it's sort of easy to see where the change ups are. It doesn't get too crazy. Um, it was maybe a little bit more confusing at the start, at the towards the end of it. I could totally see why I was doing what I was doing. I was trying to prevent the grays to come forward and be used, and so that way I could use all of the other colors instead. So yeah, um, but yeah, it starts out a little edgy, I guess, but then it works into this really cool pattern and does a whole bunch of stuff, and it's a little troublesome to try to do the segmenting because there's lots of like little things kind of going on. But that said, I mean, you can kind of see in here, like I'm working on areas and because there's the way these zigzags kind of work, um, the way that I'm kind of trying to concentrate on one side or whatever, it helps speed things up just a little bit, I guess. And obviously, there shifting it up into the clip keeps it from moving around inside of the clip too much because that's problematic ish. Um, so let's see. Yeah, I really did add a lot. Okay, so if we had done the regular arrowhead, like the kind where there's like a dot in the middle of each one of the little things, um, there would be just wait, would be like one to there, two, no, two to there. There'd only be like three in a part, I think. But this one has one, two, three, four, and a line over the top of it. So yeah, you just fit more pieces in. It kind of made it look pretty interesting, I think. And it makes it so that way when you kind of look at the pattern, it's almost like this part and this part are kind of separate, and like this part becomes more what somebody would kind of focus on, which is awesome. Like when you're wearing it, that's the part that's going to get seen, right? So that's pretty cool. I don't know. I like it. You know, it's like I don't have to sell it on myself. I already do like it. Um, so yeah, there were parts where you really did have to pay attention to the pattern, um, but not overly difficult. This is not advanced at all. This is it's just a strong intermediate, I would say. Um, Definitely like the colors. I had considered um, trying to go with like a like four shades of green. If I could have found a green that was much darker, I probably would have done that, but I didn't have one. I could, or at least I couldn't find one. So I might be running out of green already, guys. I have the airplane trolley here is not endless supplies of everything. So it kind of felt like that for a little while. Like, seemed like every time I turned around, like there was not a single color that I was missing or, lacking for once. So it happened finally. Probably not getting string for a little while too. I mean, because there's a lot in there. There really is a lot. If you haven't seen, you should check it out. There's a video short I did about my string collection. Don't remember what it's called, but it was, to me, it was hilarious. You have to watch it to the end because I think it's called "I Got Floss." I think that's what it was called, but could be wrong. Yeah, right here, two different shades of green inside of that little diamond. You have to make sure that you send it the right way, or that's gonna break something. Um, like I said, there were just little things here and there that you had to watch for to make sure that you weren't making mistakes. And as I as I work on it, I will look up at the pattern and to be like, okay, over the dark, over the medium, over the gray. And I go over this side. Okay, so this light one goes over the dark one, and then goes onto, whatever it is. That way I can keep track of where I am, what I'm doing, and that it's doing what it's supposed to do. Like I said, some patterns you watch that much more closer than others. Um, this one definitely you watch it. Tomorrow's looks to me like I'm gonna guess that tomorrow's is gonna be easier. I've already done all the patterns last week, right? Um, but that one, it just looks like there's long straight rows, and that's just so much easier. I'm really looking forward to that. So we'll get to that soon. Um, yeah, little diamonds here. There's like little things. It's it's little fiddly parts, but they kind of go quickly, or you know what you're doing when you're getting into it. So like it's not real problematic. You're not worrying about the changing directions or any of that kind of stuff. So that's cool. Yeah. And obviously I'm still trying to segment as much as I can, trying to really blast through. And the reason I jumped to the other side here is I need the other gray to come down so that way I can do the yellowish green in the next part. So it was super deliberate, trying to, you know, get an area done, get so I can go work on to the next. Um, so yeah, I already told you about the number of strings. It's got a cool kumi. I mean, typically they all do these days, right? Um, oh yeah, so this part I get to do the segment. I get to actually do out this part of the diamond, and then I can bring the yellowy green all the way down. I think this is kind of cool. Like it makes it, it kind of gives it the dovetail thing inside of that little diamond. Like there's so many, like the diamonds above it are just like straight up diamonds. Like you got light green with a dark one, you got dark one with a light. Like that's kind of interesting. Then you got this going on. It's like it goes through so many different little things. It's yeah. Again, I don't know why Minute Craft sent me this one. I don't know if there was some portion of it that she was wondering what I would do or how it would turn out or whatever. Um, I don't know. Maybe she'll comment if she sees this. So if you're there, hello, how you doing? Um, but yeah, definitely curious about this one. Um, that's actually the halfway point, isn't it? It is. So get the it always reminds me because these ones they end so abruptly, right? So I need to thank my Patreon supporters as well as my YouTube members for making these tutorials possible. It's I really really appreciate it, guys. I enjoy this. It's very therapeutic for me to make stuff, and doing it for you makes it really special as well. And the fact that there are people out there who seem to really appreciate what I do, it's just means the world to me. So thank you very, very much. So, yeah. Now it's make the three diamonds going across, and then it'll go back to the gray things. So at this point, it's like I've already worked out what is happening before, and it somehow makes everything at this point much easier. Um, and I'm pretty sure that I knew that I had passed the halfway point at, by the here, So yeah. I don't remember what I was doing when I made this one though. It might have been just watching. That's the bonus when I'm doing these. Well, for one thing, I'm doing a live stream for the members, the YouTube members. They get to watch me actually making the bracelets in real time, and I'll talk to them about whatever it is. If I'm watching YouTube or if I'm whatever I'm doing, I chat with them. I especially chat if they show up in the chat, right? Because they can, like, they can actually send me messages and they got, you know, the whole like what they're up to and stuff. I love that. That makes the whole time of making stuff just go by super quick. Um, because mostly because I can talk and then they type in a message and then I can respond to the typed in message. If I had to type, we'd have a problem because I'd have to keep pausing the videos, and that would not work at all. But yeah. Oh, speaking of the member thing, might as well plug this while I'm here. You get to see the patterns earlier. You get to see the behind the scenes, like I was talking about, like the actual while I'm recording and doing stuff. And wait, behind the scenes that and you get to watch the videos early. So lots of cool stuff. I definitely encourage you guys to join. And it's $5 Singapore. So it's like $4 USA. So it's pretty affordable. It's like less than a coffee, you know, or at least a good coffee. I guess there's some less expensive coffees out there. I'm not that far out of touch. I most of the time my coffee is at home and it's, I grind it up myself and put it in the machine. But I do get a treat every once in a while, especially like the original vanilla. It's like a coffee bean and tea leaf thing. It's like a cold coffee, almost a milkshake like, but different. I don't know. It's good. And because we have hot weather, cold, it's awesome. Sorry, I should be talking about bracelets. Although I don't know what else to tell you guys. It's cool. It's a nice one. I like the colors. I think you could totally make it. I think you could totally make it in other colors. I think I would like to see that. If you do, you can share that with me on Instagram or over on Discord. Man, now I want one of those coffees. Ah, why do I do it to myself? Man. Yeah, that really does sound good. I have like a coffee bean and tea leaf thing over here. I like such a fanboy, I swear. So yeah, again, you'll see me try to kind of segment out this thing, do a couple rows on one side, shift to the other, do a couple rows. Um, is it necessary? No, not really. Does it make it a little faster? Maybe. Does it make me happy? Sure. That's probably why I do it. Um, oh, there was no problem with any of the strings trying to run out um, one versus the others. That was it all worked out just fine. So, mind you, I do cut my strings pretty long, but they were all pretty even, so that was awesome. So let's see, that's the light one. So it's the dark, the light, and then the yellowy one, and then the dark again. Yeah. Yeah, this part of it seemed to kind of go by pretty quick. I was pretty pleased with that. Oh, and here you'll probably see like how the dark grays kind of get bounced and they're kind of starting to run over to the sides because I'm trying to keep them from actually working into these other things. I'm trying to keep it's the whole point in the pattern was it to make it so it would be just the greens at the end here. Mind you, when we did the pattern, it was all colorful. I told you guys a million times, I don't necessarily follow my own pattern colors. It's just a way of telling which string is which for me. That's it. I don't. I know that I saw somebody on social media ask for a pattern for a particular color. I don't remember which, probably green or something, but they wanted a pattern for a color, and I was just so confused by that. I I kind of at first thought it was just a joke, but they weren't joking. I don't blows my mind. Anyway, yeah, you can see the grays are now like once that the yellowy one comes into there, it's the two grays are over at the edge. So that's basically the coming into the end of the bracelet. So before this thing just abruptly ends, let me thank you very much for hanging out this long. I really do appreciate it. Be back tomorrow with another bracelet. And yeah, next week, I think I got an idea what to do, but I don't know. We'll see how that all goes. All right, guys. So yeah, thanks again for hanging out. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.